One day, those thoughts which have buried themselves deep into your subconscious will blossom as tumors or some other kind of disease. The conceptions that you have of yourself are locked in what is called the subconscious mind. That's the subconscious mind. The conceptions that you have of yourself are locked in here, and the only way to change you is if somehow a key can be found to unlock that door and let that stuff out. Otherwise, everything sits in there and festers in there and causes you big problems. I would suggest to you, if you really want some time to get a little good study on this, go into a bookstore, Dorman Freud, and it's a book called The Undiscovered Self. You're not reading a New Age, you're not reading a preacher, you're not reading a religionist, you're not reading a screwball, you're reading one of the most eminent psychoanalysts that ever lived on the face of the earth, and he'll tell you about the subconscious mind. The most powerful instrument in the universe is the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is only 10%. And the thing is that everything that goes into the subconscious that causes the problem comes from the conscious. Somebody tells you something, it goes in there, and it finds a place to dwell and grow in there. Somebody teaches you something. Somebody frightens you. It all goes from here, your conscious mind, and then it goes into the subconscious mind. And when it goes into the subconscious mind, you forget it. But your subconscious doesn't. But this here, first of all, has to be reprogrammed now. The servant is the subconscious. The master is this little insignificant conscious mind. That you're sick, it will fester, it will find a root, and it will blossom into a little tree of sickness, and it will grow. Because it believes everything you tell it. And in the same way, if you tell it you're not, you can then start on your way of life. This is where visualization comes from, Dean Ornish. They're telling something that really isn't true, and the subconscious mind thinks it is true, so the subconscious mind starts doing things as if it is true, and all the hormones start flowing. It doesn't know the difference, see? It doesn't know that it's not being told the truth, so it starts reacting. So now you can see why something has to happen. Why can't I ever make anything right? Why can't I amount to anything? Why can't I do this? Why can't I be successful? Why am I always failing? Because you're programmed to fail. You're programmed to fail. And until that programming is driven out of that subconscious mind, you'll never change. The subconscious mind is programmed that you cannot make it, and it will see that you don't. That's why what Jesus Christ speaks of, that's why it is so important when he says to you, seek first the kingdom. Enter within yourself. The kingdom of God is within you. Make that change within yourself so that all of this can be flushed away and all that is new can come in. And then what is to stop you? Jesus Christ is the one who said you're God. And just think to yourself, instead of I'm a sinner, instead of I'm a failure, instead of I can't do this and I can't do that and I can't do the other thing, if you close your eyes and just say to yourself, I am God. I am God. I am God. And then look up and say, what in the world could possibly defeat you or your life now? Nothing. But once you find out that I am and God are one and the same thing, then what do you need the system for? What do you need the organization for? What do you need the religions for? And that's what scares them. They're not in this to set you free. They're in this to structure themselves as the great controller of your life. Through Jesus Christ, which is the higher mind. With the mind, which is the lower programming, or the higher programming, I serve God, but with the flesh, which is the lower programming, I serve the law of sin, which is the emotion. So that's the bad part. What's the good part? The good part is you can remove the bad programs. Okay? You can open this up. You can remove the bad programs in the subconscious. You allowed the negative programming to get in. Now you can allow the negative programming to get out. Just open yourself to the story of Christ. Open to yourself to what He tried to get you to understand. Then you'll come to the place where the programming will change. Then you'll come to the place where the subconscious will receive the flow of that reprogramming to get in that which is new. And the chief culprit to this whole thing is a 4-letter word: fear. Even to the point that you have never heard a religious person discuss your mind. You have gone to church all of your life. You've never heard a pastor. You've never heard a minister. You've never heard a priest. They never discuss your mind. It's off limits. In fact, they say, God is in my heart. They always point here. Not to the center. That's off limits. They're afraid of it. And in fact, they'll tell you that if you go into the realm of your own mind, you'll open up devils. That's what they'll tell you. Because that's fear. And you know why that is? Because the negativity of religion and Christianity has programmed people to be afraid of themselves. The beauty of all this, Jesus Christ never came to tell this world how great He was. He came to this world to say how great you are. And that's why He said, you are the light of the world. The kingdom's within you. And you know what Jesus said? Hey, Santa, He said, the things that I've done, you can do better than me.